Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another segment of Mental Health. Andrea Mason from Victim to Victorious, all things mental health. Hello, my name is Andrea Mason, your first choice, your global voice, alumna of Les Brown, and the CEO of Press Play Plan Life According to You, LLC. Have you been following us? Have you been taking notes? Have you been exploring and applying the methods and teachings that we share here? Well, just a brief recap. The first segment, we talked about going from victim to victorious, about understanding and identifying victim mentality. Then we shifted gears to breaking that blame game cycle of not only blaming others, but most importantly, blaming yourself. And today, here we are going to talk about creating a vision beyond survival mode. What does that mean? Well, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever experienced in your life where you were ready to experience and expand upon your knowledge, your careers, and what you want to do in the world, only to realize that your vision is just limited, whether it's with false limiting beliefs, false knowledge, fear of success, fear of failure, all the external components that have been wired into your mind up until that point? Well, I'm here to tell you that there's an opportunity, a choice, and chance to create a vision before survival mode. What does that look like? Survival mode to me is working on and responding on impact. What is the immediate result? What is the immediate response? What is the immediate reaction we can take when something doesn't go as planned? Now, my business is called Plan Life According to You. However, sometimes there are obstacles, life happens, and unexpectancies, and we must be prepared for that. We must be in play mode. Preparation, learning, taking accountability with attention and integrity, as well as yielding to the naysayers, non-believers, and distractions to avoid procrastination. So what I want to talk about is that when we go beyond the vision, beyond survival, we move from reactive, living in intentional design, into an immediate response, into a responsive mode. This episode walks through creating a mental health plan, which is an alignment with your values and goals. Now you're saying, Andrea, what does that mean, living with intention as opposed to a responsive mode? We can't control that at all times. No, we can't. Sometimes the unexpected occurs, and sometimes we just act on impulse and reaction. But if we look at it and we take 3 seconds, 3 seconds to reset, reboot, and recharge, we have the ability to shift our reactive mode to our responsive mode. And also be mindful that sometimes not being responsive is a choice. They say, statistics say, according to NAMI, the National Alliance of Mental Illness, says that let me just make sure I have this correct. Setting personalized goals improves long-term recovery about 60%. Let me read that again. Setting personalized goals improves long-term recovery outcomes by 60%. Now, some of you already know this, that if you write a goal down or you say your goal to somebody else, you're not only holding yourself accountable, but they're holding you accountable. So you're more inclined to do so. Now, I know some of you are scratching your heads. Yeah, well, what about that gym membership? I signed up, I signed a contract, I'm on a subscription monthly plan, and I haven't gone. Well, what if we input the intention? That's the key word, intention. Intention that we are going to be healthy. We are going to treat our body as a temple and a vessel and feed it with the proper nutrients and beverages, let alone the environment of those we keep company. So how did this all work on to creating a vision beyond survival? Yes, it is true that at times we all, each and every one of us, has what we need within. We were given the tools upon our arrival here with the skill sets, gifts, knowledge, and intellect that we need to survive. But what we don't explore or have difficulty expanding upon is the vision beyond survival. Brief, quick, short story. For those of you who may know who have got my book, Victim to Victorious, you can be found there as well as in my line of work. I was playing the American dream. I'm a Colombian adoptee from during the cartel, and I came here from 11 months, weighing in at 11 pounds. And I didn't really know what my vision was, what my journey would look like. All I knew that I was unconditionally loved by my parents, my American parents. They instilled unconditional love and always said, Andrea, no matter what you do what you love, do it right, and do your best. So I was on survival mode. All right, I know what I need. I got everything to get me through the day. What really taps into my interest? Well, I wasn't prepared for the unexpected. We all have unexpectancies in life. I wasn't prepared that I was going to be a victim of abuse or bullying at every stage, at every age of my life. I wasn't prepared for the failures that I encountered, not only in the school systems, amongst my peers, in any relationship, and in my career. We don't prepare for that. We don't come with a manual, says a book of life, but we all have one. And it's just a matter of which chapter are we walking into each other's story. So having said that, I went with the Joneses. I said, all right, I love connecting with people, and I love learning about the mind and the intellect and how people are wired. So I dabbled in and I pursued my career in social work and psychology. Dedicated over 2 decades, meeting every walk of life, from those on the streets to those behind bars. But I learned about them as the human component, not only the clipboard and the assignment and the diagnosis and prognosis that they were given and the stigmatisms of society. My vision of survival at that point was, Andrea, you have a degree in social work, you have a degree in psychology. You're here to be the bridge to get them prepared when they're ready or when they're permitted to integrate back in the community. But what I didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, the vision beyond survival. This was only the little cookie cutter of my degrees and certifications that I had. It wasn't until my life experiences of my losses that became lessons and my pain, which became purpose, that I was able to now create beyond the vision of survival. I knew I could do more. I knew I could be more. And with that motivation, ambition, attention, and intention, I was able to find my authentic and integral self. I was able to realize that there's more than meets the eye. Wink, wink to my Transformers age generation of Optimus Prime. Think about it. Are your vision tunneled and prescription for only your eyes to see? Or are you ready to take those glasses off and veils off and to see beyond survival? If I asked you right now, I had a crystal ball and I said to you, what is something that you enjoy doing that you can do on a daily basis without getting paid? Is there such a thing? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a living testimony of it. I love connecting with people. I love hearing their stories, sharing their tears, and warming their hearts. This is something that I have done and now molded into something that is so passionate that if money wasn't an option, I would still do it today. In my line of work, it's what I call choosing to press play, plan life according to you, the life transformational journey of the path less traveled, achieving the power of forgiveness and going from victim to victorious. I love people, learning about them, sharing with them, Because you know what the beauty of it? What my areas of improvement may be can be their areas of strength. And we can work symbiotically and happily. So I want you to take a moment, sit back and relax. Take your digital device, or if you're old school, grab that paper and pad. Ask yourself this question. Am I living a life where my vision is that in survival? Or am I ready to take the pen in my own hand and write my own story and create a vision beyond survival? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to keep in mind of 3 components as you are taking, when you are ready, if you are ready, to take this next step and maybe your first step. Number 1, ask yourself, who am I? Not the roles you lead, not the names you were given, but inside, right on your heart. And if you are, take a few seconds, close your eyes and see who you are. Number 2, ask others, strangers, somebody you don't even know, what is your perspective about me? And if you really want to be bold and brave enough, ask your loved ones, families, and coworkers. They'll tell you the truth. See if it is parallel to what the first question was of who you are. And thirdly, walk with attention and intention. Find out who you are. In the words of the American actor Matthew McConaughey, sometimes when we look at others, carve out what you don't want to be, and then you'll find your true self, paraphrased, of course. And I mentioned the healing power of forgiveness. What do you want to learn about that? Well, that's another segment. But any mistakes, mishaps, choices we've made, don't let them define you. Allow yourself to forgive others and, most importantly, forgive yourself. Louis B. Smedes says to forgive another person, to forgive is to set a prisoner free, only to realize the prisoner is you, number 1. And number 2, that our own identity is given to us in our fingerprint. There's no one else like us. There will be no one like us, but we can educate, empower, and enlighten. Live through from the heart. You may get hurt, but that pain can be turned into purpose. Avoid the herd, for you may be forced outside your comfort zone and not align with your morals, ethics, values, and beliefs. But always, always act with integrity, even when no one's watching, for then you are true to yourself. My name is Andrea Mason, your first choice, your global voice, alumna of Les Brown and the CEO of Press Play, Plan Life According to You, LLC. I welcome you to explore my website, andreamasons.com. I've got an online course, Resilient and Rising, as well as a plethora of all audiences and genres of videos speaking to you on my YouTube channel, Andrea Mason, Victim to Victorious. I can be found on all social media platforms. And if you want to take a deeper dive, connect with me on my discovery call, and I'd be more than happy to walk beside you every step of the way as you choose to press play. This has been another segment of All Things Mental Health from Victim to Victorious with yours truly, Andrea Mason. Stay tuned. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you know someone if you or someone you know has received benefit from this, share this out. It's free. And connect with me. I welcome your thoughts. I welcome your support, and even the naysayers. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate you, and I'm grateful. Again, yours truly. Stay tuned for another segment of All Things Mental Health from Victim to Victorious. Be safe, be well. Someone is listening, someone's watching, and your voice may just impact the world. Be well.